Secure the bag, yeah, that's the brand, and we get to the bag. These
What's going on, family? It's your man Tay Sweat here once again, and we have another STB Market Watch. Today, we're going to be talking about trading using speed lines and channels. This is one of my favorites. I had to teach this because I'm telling you, if you learn how to draw them, if you learn how to follow them, they make you a lot of profitable trades. Now, of course, before we get started, a few things that we have to talk about. Number one, do not forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all of that good stuff. I show love. I come here and do my thing because I just want some love back. That's it. Right. That's how you can pay me. Just show me some love back. Right. But number two, I demand of you to what? Not apply real money to these strategies. What I need you to do is to go in and paper trade them at least 2 months of consecutive profitable trades. Then, if you feel like, hey, as a adult, full consenting adult, I'm ready to trade now because I've proven my system. I've proven what Tay has been teaching. Then it's up to you to go ahead and apply some real money to these trades. All right. With that being said, who am I and why do I do this? For my new people, my name is Tay Sweat. I am a stock trader, crypto trader, options trader, futures trader. I mean, I trade it all. Why? Because if it has a chart, I can see where it's going and I will trade it. That being said, I have been trading for almost over 10 years now. And I got my start with penny stocks, stocks that are pretty much almost going bankrupt. And in order to trade companies like that, you don't have any other thing you can look at other than technical analysis. So you have to be really good at technical analysis. Otherwise, you know these companies aren't going up because they're making profits. So you need to know when they're going to bounce based on technical analysis. And that's what I used to do. I did it for years, and I came on over to the large cap world, traded some of the bigger companies like Tesla, Apple, etc. And now that's what we do full time. And of course, I trade futures as well. That being said, I started doing this because I wanted to help people learn how to read the charts and be able to see where the market is going the way I can see it, or at least halfway the way I can see it. I'm not saying you're going to be able to be like me, but just, get somewhere to where it's like, hey, this can be done. People are doing this actively. And I wanted to showcase that. All right. So let's get started. Speed lines and channels. Okay. Now, these speed lines and channels can be drawn on any time frame. They work literally for any time frame. Um, and of course, the larger time frame that you find them on, they're going to be more respected. All right. So with that being said, let's dive into the charts. All right, family. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with the SPY. I checked the SPY yesterday, or in yesterday's class, and what I wanted to do was, I was telling everybody that we had a double top right here. Right, we actually had a double top. Um, so this area and this area pretty much gave us a double top. And looked like we got a little fake out. So it gave us a double top, showed that sellers were stepping in. And then today it actually popped, right? Gave us a fake out. And I actually took a little loss on this. I got stopped out because it was falling. It opened, hit, and then, it kind of turned red for a minute. I was like, all right, I'm going against it, right? Because these are sellers in this area. So I'm thinking, hey, I'm going against it, right? Well, it popped above it, and now I'm sure it's going to hold support. So now what we're looking to do is maybe bounce in between this area. So who knows? Maybe tomorrow we'll continue, because this is that's a very bullish candle. So I'm expecting us to open, maybe even hit that 435 area. And maybe even there we'll pull back. But if not, this thing can continue to run. If we can get above that, we don't have any sellers until up here. So if we can get past this area, maybe get above, 437. Yeah, it's game time. This thing may run to like 447, which is another 10 points, which is ridiculous. That's crazy. So we'll see. We'll see how this thing works. So that's just my analysis of, just kind of backtracking what we talked about yesterday. It did make it above. That was a nice fake out. Like I said, I got faked out. I got stopped out. And then of course you got to jump in with the Bulls. If the Bulls are winning, you got to jump in with the Bulls. So I got faked out jumped in with the bulls. But I usually when I get hit my stop loss, I don't trade anymore. It's like, you know what? I was wrong. I'm done because I do still see rooms that we need to fall, but it didn't want to fall. It wasn't time. So I take my loss like a man. I took about a $3,000 loss and I sit the rest of the day out, right? I did a little live on Instagram, hang out with my son, and just enjoy the day, right? Take my loss like a man. It's a part of the game. Okay. So, with that being said, let's dive into some speed lines and see number one, where this thing can potentially go as far as channels and speed lines. And we'll back test this thing to see how it has operated over the last, I don't know, few months or even years. All right. So, what we used to do is, of course, we trade lower time frames, right? Lower time frames. So, we're talking 5 minute, something like that. So I'm going to show you what this looks like on maybe like the 5 minute chart, and then we'll go from there. So if you were in this, right, and one of the things I teach when it comes to a speed line, all you need is three or more candles to support or to respect the line. If you can get three or more candles to respect the line, that is a line, my friends. All right. So with that being said, I have one in here, and we could have easily went two, three, maybe even four, five. And the more I can get, the more likely that's the line. And the reason why I say that is because I can tell you this area right here, this looks like it came below the line. The line that's connecting these, it looks like these two came below that line as a fake out, and then you gapped up and continue. So what I'm going to do is connect these few, maybe one, two, three, to maybe these. And this is just, I've been doing this so long that I can just look and see how I need to connect them. So don't feel bad because you're not able to see it or you don't know which lines to connect or what lines to draw or where, right? It just takes experience and time in the market, back testing and seeing it over and over. Okay. So there we go. Boom. And just like I said, these were fake out candles. It came below, fake out, and then moved up. Okay. Now, why is this important? Well, look at that. One candle, two candle, three, four, five. I'll even give this resistance. So that's 6, 7. That's even 8 support, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. That's 17 candles touching this one line. And I bet if we go backwards, there's probably some candles back here touching this line, because if this many candles respect this line forward, if we look backwards, I almost guarantee you these are being respected. Oh, look at that. Support, resistance, support right in here. That's perfect. That's perfect. So I think that's about it. It shouldn't go too far down. But yeah, this is a solid line. This is a solid line. This is dope. This is dope. So this is how this thing works. Okay. Um, I mean, to be honest, to me, this looks like a head and a shoulders. Excuse me, shoulders and a head bone, right? And then, yeah, I mean, shit, you even got your, look like this neckline has locked in. So for me, this thing should be falling pretty soon. Even though it ran up to here, this thing should be falling pretty soon. I don't know when, but it should be playing out pretty soon because that looks like head and shoulders pattern. The shoulder was here and then it hit, boom, bounced back up, and then boom, closed below this line. Yeah, to me, that's that's it. That's all she wrote. But anyway, this is a speed line. So you could have traded this. So 1, 2, 3, 4 popped up. 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, you don't buy up here, right? You wait till it comes back here. You could have bought this and look from here at 429 all the way up to 433. And that took less than, I don't know what, that was Friday. So if you held, let's just say you bought some shares or maybe, option, held it over the weekend. It was a good hold. Boom, boom, boom. Gapped up today, tested that line, and then took off. Right. So that's what, $5 move, $4 move, something like that. That's a great move. Great move. So this is how it works. For my people who day trade, this is going to be one of your best things to day trade with, speed lines. Absolutely love speed lines. And then you can also create a channel by having support as your speed line. Okay. And then having a resistance type of speed line as well. Right. So what we can do is we can just come here, same thing, connect them. Right. And I like that. Right. I like that a lot. And the reason why I say that is because let's open it up and see. Why do I like that so much? Well, support, or excuse me, resistance. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They front ran it, but 10. Look at this: 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 resistance lines, right? 16. And then if you go back, this used to be support. Look at this: supported this area. Back here, look at that: support, resistance. Look at that: support, resistance, support. Yeah, this line has been respected for a long time, right? Long time. So, in a long time in the grand scheme of things, on a 5 minute chart, it's just about a week, a couple days, maybe a week. But nonetheless, this thing has been followed. So, I mean, even if you bought this thing back here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you knew that this was support, and you could have just took, just took the elevator up. Look at that, right? Then it came into here, created another line, and then you knew you had support and resistance. Literally, you could have just been buying the support and waiting for resistance to hold. That's it. This is the game, right? Now, this is a 5 minute chart, right? There are many things that I'm looking at here on the 5 minute that can play out. Many things. Let's see. For example, let's see. Closed, retraced, closed. We need to retrace. So, okay, 429. There are many things that can play out on this, but what we would need to do is see when this thing want to create or wants to create a downward move. Right now, this thing, it's holding resistance, but it's not really showing me any reversal patterns. So yeah, so this is how it works. Now, what we can do is we can keep these on a 5 minute chart, right? Boom, boom, take those off. And then what we can do is we can scroll out and see if we can find something maybe on a weekly chart, right? And see if, is that holding? Is the weekly chart holding? Let us see. So here's your weekly speed line somewhere in here. Boom, look at that. Isn't that amazing? Just amazing. Look at that. So yes, you got this area, and I front ran it a little bit, or I put it a little lower that it could have been. Let's see, we could bring that up just a little bit right there. Boom. But yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, this is great. This is great. And if you want to come, once again, you want to make it a channel, you can come in here and try to connect these top candles, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. That looks like a group, right? Now, I'll be honest with you. If we're going to hold this as resistance, look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, pretty much 5, 6, 7, 8 in resistance. Now, I don't know about you, but what I need to do before I decide, hey, this is my thing I need to be looking at, I needed a back test to make sure that this resistance line is something that was followed in the past. And as you do go back, you see, look, support, 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 support. Oh, buddy. So you know what that means. This is what you would consider a rising wedge. So where's the market going near term, maybe in the next month or two? Let's check it out. Let's look up just a definition of a rising wedge. This is one of those patterns that you need to be paying attention to. All right, family. So this is just something I just pulled off the internet, to be honest with you. I just want to teach, it's a teaching moment. But as you see, look at this. Here's your channel, right? And this is actually moving up. So up, right? And you have this channel. Now, it's not necessarily wedging on this one, but it is rising, right? And this is a wedge, it's a rising wedge. And what tends to happen with this type of pattern is you wait for a break. And once you get a break here, you're usually going to get a down move. Okay. Usually going to get a down move. And what happens a lot of times is you're going to get a down move and a retest to this up move, right? Depending on who you learn from, they'll teach you kind of like about this whole gap situation, right? But ultimately, it's not just a gap situation, it's actually a retest. If they continued this line up, that would have been a break and a retest to that line, right? That's what it's trying to do. That's usually a really good entry, very good entry point. So, it falls. A lot of people are like, I gotta get it, I gotta get it. It's falling, it's falling. This was a rising wedge, it's gotta fall. But what they don't realize is that it will come back usually, test the area somewhere up here, and then fall, right? So, once again, this is a bearish pattern, rising wedge. So if we go back, look at that. That looks like a rising wedge to me, right? Now, this is just something that I drew starting in the 2023 March area, March 2023. But watch this. I actually can take that line off and maybe draw it somewhere in here, maybe. And it could be another one. It could be another one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, 7, 8. I like that too. So once again, this overall is a rising wedge, period. Period. Right. Um, so what we would look for is, of course, is hidden resistance. What I'm going to be looking for is a move down. If we can get this move down, of course, it'll move down, come up, and then fall. So I like this. It's a rising wedge. I definitely think there's potential to fall. We'll just have to see. This is a weekly chart, so this thing can play out over. I mean, it could take months, like literally September, October before this plays out. But just looking at this overall pattern, yeah, it's definitely something that I see. It's a textbook pattern, right? It's textbook. So, you got higher lows, right? Higher highs as we go into this thing, right? And then usually what happens, like I said, is it comes out and you move down. So once again, that's another thing that you can be looking for. That's how you find those patterns. All right. So that being said, what's going to be the next pattern? I'm going to show you on multiple things. So I like the monthly chart, right? I like the monthly chart for this. One of the things I like to do is I like to find out where we're going. Okay. I call it the rocket ship method. And what basically the rocket ship lets me know is where this thing is bouncing in between on the monthly chart, right? Because that lets me know, hey, am I in the wrong? Am I in the right? Like, what's good with this? Right? What's good with this? So, literally, since 2009, look at that. It's just stayed in this channel. Look at that. So literally, even back during 2020 crisis, the market fell. If you just knew that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 was creating support, you would have not freaked out. You would have bought that. Hey, I'll take it. 252. Yeah, it fell a little bit lower. It fell a little bit lower. But guess what? 252, 256, somewhere in there came down to 220. You would have to take a little pain, but if you gave yourself some time, you bought that at 250, literally the very next month, the thing popped back up from 252 to 290, and then it took off. Why? Because that was the bottom of the channel. It just came back to the top of the channel. That's it. And it went from 252 to 336. That's a nice move. It took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months. So literally from like March to, I don't know, what's that, August, you could have ate really good, right? Me personally, I never really bank on uh this being taken out and it moving above it. So I just buy, sell, buy, right? And I have a stop loss. If it continues, I'll stop out. But it was a great move. And if you had literally this is what I call my rocket ship method that lets me know, hey, no matter what's going on inside the rocket ship, it lets me know whether the rocket ship is going up or down. That's it. Up or down. Okay. So what you'll notice is this thing is followed. And I mean, we can go back. Watch this. See, y'all think I'm playing over here. I am not playing around. Y'all think that I am playing, right? Look at this. These connect. Look, one, two. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit for you, right? I'm not playing with y'all, man. Look at this. One, two, three, four, five fell below. And I guarantee you, this looks like a rising wedge. We just talked about that. We just talked about that whole rising wedge. Rise. Look at that. Support, resistance, got below, held resistance. Boom. Leaky leak. Leak e leak. This is how this game is played. People call me, look, I'm telling you, people thought I was capped. People didn't think, oh, Tay don't know what he's doing. He's the wrong. I mean, he don't even look like he know what he's doing. We don't see people who look like him who know what they're doing when it comes to stuff like this. This takes brains. Hey man, I'm telling y'all, I do this, right? I do this. This is one of my favorite things to do. Love this stuff, right? Now, watch this. I'm going to show you how this stuff just continues to play out. So, look, here's yet another speed line, right? You could have grabbed it here. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Look at that. Close below. Try to get up there and hold some resistance. Leak. Now, watch this. See, right now we're back in what's this, 2000, right here. Right here is 2007 and 8. And then right here started in 2009. Now, watch as we go forward, watch how current price action follows my lines. See, this is when people think I'm play pimping. All right. Now, watch. I have 3 channels that have been utilized and pretty much followed since 2000. So we're talking about 2 decades back, and they're still being followed now. Let's just check it out. Still being followed now. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? I can't make this up. I cannot make this up. You don't know where the market is going? It'll tell you. Look at these lines. These lines have been here since the beginning. Most of y'all not even old enough to be able to understand what happened back here. Oh my God. Oh my God. Look at this. You got above this line, held support, and ran to this line. You thinking we just going all-time highs to the moon. It's never gonna stop. And wrong. Where's it gonna stop? At the same resistance that's been held since way back when. It used to be support, it became resistance right here. What used to be support, as soon as you get underneath support, it becomes resistance. As soon as you get above resistance, it becomes support. And what happened? Hit, 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 and leak. This is how the market is played. I cannot make this stuff up. I cannot make this stuff up. So once again, when people tell me I don't know what I'm talking about, I get a little offended. I'm like, you got me messed up. You don't know who I am, do you? That's why I started teaching this stuff for free. I said, let me tell y'all something, man. Look, I got something that works. I got something that works. Literally, if you just buy and sell my lines that I created, you should be good. You sell it here, you bring it here, you buy that, it tick, 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 and it starts to make its way back up. Where do you think we're going? I don't know. Maybe over the next few months, could give me something like this. Could. I mean, I don't know. It could. It could. I definitely think it could give me something like that. Right? I got a $500 price target on the S&P 500 or the SPY anyway. So it could. Looks like we got a lot of buyers in here. And then maybe once we get up here, maybe we'll leak. I don't know. Maybe. But what I can tell you is that, hey, right now we're in this channel, and this channel is the king. It's the king. So for me, I'm not going against the king. That's just me. I am not going against the king. So we can expect this thing to continue to play out and maybe even move as high as it wants to. But for now, we just need to wait and see near term what's going on. So once again, you can go into your lower time frames, hour chart, 4 hour chart, daily, draw these type of lines and see where we're going. But what you can do is you can keep these lines on the monthly chart, right? That way, when you come to the monthly, you got your lines. You know where we are. You know where we're going. Like I said, this chart has played it out. And then if you want to get even more granular with it, right? You could have bought, excuse me, let me go back. You could have bought these lines, boom, to the weekly chart, right? So now when you zoom in, you have a full life picture of the trading range. The trading range, resistance, leak, come down, support, bounce, comes down, still gets back above, hold support, 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 starting to make our move out of there. I cannot make this stuff up. Support and resistance is the name of the game. So once again, if you want to get granular, like I said, you can start coming in here. Boom, there's a speed line inside of a channel, right? Speed line inside of a channel. So what can we expect? Okay, well, if you just want to continue this type of pattern going, right? Blow it up. Okay, cool. If you Tay, you told me this is a rising wedge, right? So that's bearish. So where is this thing gonna go? I don't know. Let's just say here, break here, hold here, leak, support. Great buy entry right in here. Great buy entry. And I don't even know if it's gonna take this long. That's September. It could come down and touch somewhere over here. So $400, and then we can start to run our way back on up, right? We can get out of there. Boom, 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 boom. That's how this thing works. Once again, I do this. All right. I do this. This is something I've been doing for a while. I love this stuff. I absolutely, adore it. It's my, I geek out for this stuff, right? But it allows me to see things when people can't see it. I'm gonna take you to Bitcoin real quick, and I'm gonna show you what I saw on Bitcoin when I was calling. People thought I was crazy. I saw it on Tesla. People thought I was crazy. I said Tesla got to pull back. People thought I was crazy. I said Bitcoin got to pull back. I saw it all the way up at 60 something thousand. People thought I was crazy. Hey, ain't no way, ain't no way, ain't no way, ain't no way. Let me show you something. Let's just look. Let me just take y'all back, man. Y'all don't know. Y'all don't know. Let's go back. Let's see what we have here. Okay. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Look at that. Resistance, resistance. Okay. That's one good line. Look, resistance. Okay. That's one good line. One good line. All right. We got some stuff way back here that I could draw. And it wouldn't be fair if I did it, but I'm going to do it anyway. Right. Look at that. Resistance, resistance, right? Oh, baby. Look, y'all not ready. Hold on. I'm not done. I am not done. You could grab this one. It was very parabolic, but nonetheless, something you could have followed. Same thing here. Something you could have followed. Support, 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 resistance, resistance, right? I'm just showing you some areas because look at the trading range that we started to trade in. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Got above it, came back. What did it do? Came right in and held it at support. Boom, support, support, support. Good God, look at that. Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. Look at that. Support, 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 support. Ran back up. Look, held resistance, resistance, resistance. Got above, held support on the green line. I mean, what do y'all want from me? What do you want from me? Are you not entertained? Goodness gracious. It just follows it. It just follows it. Traded in the range like crazy, right? Once you got back underneath the range, look what happens. Came down, boom, popped up, held resistance, fell back down, blew through the range, held resistance right in here, fell back down, and look, resistance, 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 even to present day. This is May 20. This is May 2023, and it's still holding resistance from a line that was drawn back in 2020. Man, y'all don't hear me. Y'all don't hear me. Like, people, oh, Bitcoin to the moon. I'm like, yeah, not with this big ass resistance you got sitting above your head. You got 1, 2, 3 lines you need to get above. Not to mention, there are sellers all in here. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck, my friend. Not only that, boys and girls, what have we been talking about over the last, I don't know, a few classes, right? It looks like a bear flag to me. It looks like a nice bear flag. Fall down, pop up. Look at that, trades right in between my bear flag. Once I get a move up under here, oh baby, we're on our way. I mean, $9,000, $10,000 price target. Y'all gonna quit playing with me. Y'all are gonna quit playing with me. You're gonna put me on Mount Rush. Look, I'm telling you, I am one of the best at this game, right? And I might not. I'll be honest with you. I might not even be the most profitable. But when it comes to these charts, there are not many who can touch. I'm telling you, they can't hold a flame next to me. There's not many. Look at what this. I mean, are you not entertained? Right? Good God, look at this. See, I geek out over this stuff. So I just get hyped. I'm very passionate. Good God, look at this. It's giving you everything it needs to give. Right? Tay, well, where can we fall? Watch this, watch this, watch this, watch this. I'm gonna just delete it all. Say, how low can we fall based on the support? Bing. You want to know? There you go. Support, support, support. Look at that. I'm gonna bring it up. Hold on. I got you. I got you. Look at me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Uh-oh. So where do we go from here, Tay? Uh-oh. $10,000. Have I not been calling for $10,000 price target on Bitcoin or not? Good God, I'm telling you. Oh, ooh, I love this stuff. I'm telling y'all, I go crazy for it. I go crazy for this stuff. Now, there are many other things that I have that can tell me that we getting down to $10,000. Many other things. I'm just giving some of the sauce out for free, right? But there's some things I keep in my bag for my students who, who join the inner circle, right? My people who are inside on the actual, paid versions, so we can continue to have an edge. There's other things that I can teach that can tell you and literally point to this line and say, yep, that's where we're trying to go. But we're going to get into that right now. So once again, this is how this thing works, right? Support, resistance, speed lines, channels, they work on all time frames. And the more you go out, so if you just go out to a larger time frame, the more likely it is you're going to be right. If you just give yourself time and you trade this, maybe a couple years out, right? Give it some time to move up, give it some time to move down, up, down. You give it time and you just play it against the channels and the speed lines, you can make a lot of money and you don't even have to play, day by day. You can just put it in, live your life, enjoy, and wait for it to play out. This is how we play the game. I hope this makes sense. I hope this helps a lot of people. And hey, this has been another STB Market Watch. Hey, y'all know I like showing love, so show me some love back. Like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to share my shit. All right, I love y'all. Y'all have a great rest of your night. I'll talk to y'all soon. I'm out.
Secure the bag, yeah, that's the brand, and we get to the bag. These